Thank
Last night a
Get it,
DJ
get it.
saved my life.
What? Last night a DJ saved
DJ
my
saved
life.
my life.
That's it. Come on.
Amazing.
A DJ can save your life. Tracy
Yes.
Young.
There we go.
What's up, y'all? I'm Kelly Clarkson.
Hey, Steve McRae.
Hey, I'm Josh from the band Need to Breathe.
I'm Olivia Luddy.
We are so excited to welcome to the Kelly Alexander Show, Akon. Hi.
What up, Kels?
Hey, I'm Judy Gold.
And I'm hanging out with the Kelly Alexander Show.
This is Jordan, and I'm hanging out on the Kelly Alexander Show.
I'm Rob, and I'm hanging out on the Kelly Alexander Show.
I'm hanging out with the Kelly Alexander Show right now.
Jealous?
I am beyond thrilled to welcome to the Kelly Alexander Show three legends when it comes to pop and dance music. And I'm very proud to say that this is the first time that these three ladies have been interviewed together on camera. So Niki Haris, Donna De Lory, and DJ Tracy Young, thank you so much for joining us on the Kelly Alexander Show.
So great.
Jazz hands.
Right.
Oh my goodness, this is just epic. This is legendary to me to have the three of you. And it's even hard to know where to start. But I did want to start, I guess, to just try to paint the timeline a little bit. Donna and Niki, I'm assuming you guys met first before you met Tracy.
Yes.
Okay, can we start there
Yes.
with how you guys met?
Go, Donna. You got this one. It's your story.
Well, it was 1987, and we were rehearsing for the Who's That Girl tour. Niki, I had come in to replace one of the girls that it wasn't working out with, and then about maybe a week before we left on tour,
Exactly a week.
another one of the girls, believe it or not, like this is the Madonna tour and everything, didn't work out. She didn't want to do it or something. So Niki came in for an audition, and it was kind of fun to be on the other side. Like I already had the job, so then to see all the girls coming in, that was just me like 2-3 months before. So Niki came in just right away. Her energy was incredible. She was so much fun. It's always really challenging to find a singer that can also dance and also just has that like very bright, light personality. So that was Niki, and she came in and we just knew right away. I remember looking at Madonna, and all of us looked at each other like, okay, she's perfect. So then, do you remember what happened after that? Then
I just remember
about?
being it was a long story for me. It's just like, because it was just me learning the material on the way to the job. I mean, on the way to the audition, because I already had a job I was flying in Vegas, and I didn't really know her stuff that well, but it was okay. It was not that, musically difficult, for me to do it vocally. But when I saw all this gigantic stage, and I was like, okay, wait a minute, I got 1 week, and they were like, oh yeah, 17 dance routines, and you got to fit the costumes. Well, and I was struggling too, because I was actually replacing a very, very dear friend of mine. So it was just like, I was, worried about her because she was sick, and I was like, okay. But I did know the job that I was leaving was also a very, very different. So I felt bad. And then I found out how much they were making, and I didn't feel so bad anymore. I was like, but I know for sure, it just felt like a week went by, and I remember walking on the streets of Tokyo with Donna, and then she and I started literally having adventures. Gosh, we won't even go down some of those adventures, but we realized, I was amazed at, how much work they were doing, how kind everybody was to each other too. That was the really cool thing. I mean, she and I did our laundry together. We, I won't say we took mushrooms for the first time together. I think
we went to the temples. I just recently found pictures of us going out to the temples in Japan, and getting on the train or the bus or whatever we were taking together, and just capturing. We
were in our early 20s, and now we're several decades past that now, and so this is nothing but a gratitude dance that we're doing right now.
Absolutely.
That one, grateful just to be here, and two, that we get to sing too. That's just icing on the cake. And we get to do it with a DJ that is literally saving our lives. Literally saving our lives. I mean,
Literally.
the song says that, but it also reminds, because Don and I, when we came together to do a project, we were really doing a lot of really stripped down earth, barefoot, simple, but beautiful songs. But we forgot we had this huge dance market that we were completely ignoring. And it was like, and then we had to literally start remixing some of those, like earthy songs that we were doing, because people were like wanting us to do dance stuff. And then this DJ, Tracy Young, reminded us, no, we want to work with y'all. And so she literally saved our life.
A few months ago, we went to Mexico to do a private event. And this beautiful man who's actually a event promoter, party planner.
One of the biggest in Puerto Vallarta.
One of the biggest in Cabo,
one of the biggest.
Right?
In Cabo?
So he brought us all together. And I remember riding in the car, which took a long time in Mexico City.
Hello, traffic.
Which was like an hour and a half. So we had a lot of time to talk. And I was just getting this feeling that we were going to do great things together.
I didn't know that, Donna.
I did. And then we were at Soundcheck and you were taking all these videos of us and you were so excited and joyful. And I think it like kind of reignited something in Niki and I of like, yeah, let's do this dance music. My God, like we need to celebrate. And so many people, as Niki said, want us to do this and come together in this way. So I'm so inspired and excited. And we worked on a couple tracks. I know I've sent you so many of my songs, like, and you've been so supportive, because I just love your opinion from a production standpoint and as a friend. So
Kelly, as you can see, this is a love fest. This is truly a love fest.
And if I may interject,
yeah,
because I'm a little, I guess, not too much younger, but a little younger. So I grew up like you, Kelly, fanning out over Donna and Niki. So for me, it was like I'm working with people that can really sing, you know what I mean? And that are super talented. And I'm learning from them as well, because they've got all this experience that I don't have. And I'm very excited, definitely. So I guess I'm glad that shines through.
Can you guys tell us, and I'll start with Niki on this, tell us again, was it the Mexico trip that got you guys to decide to work on this song together? Like, how did this take off that you guys are going to do this song? Last night a DJ saved my life.
I know Tracy brought the song to us.
Okay.
Tracy wanted us to do this song, and great call, Tracy. No, Don and I were out doing Pride. So like I said, we literally remixed in LA with different, producers, some of the like folkier, just songwriting just to make a dance show, because we were getting called for prides and different things like that. And so we were like, we got to put a dance show together, because we have the live band show, we have the kind of stripped down just guitar with a conga. We know how to do all of that, but we didn't really have this big kind of like, okay, we can put 19 dancers behind us if we need to. We didn't have that kind of show. And Tracy really brings that kind of music to us, where it's just like, okay, yeah, this is fun. And it reminds us we're not dead. Like, our legs still move. We still can,
Good to know, Niki. Good to know.
It's like, I've been doing
very
that.
true.
We do spiritual music. We do a lot of stuff where we're like, kind of like, in lotus position. Hello, Donna. And so we have to remind ourselves, okay, wait a minute. No, the hips are still good. The knees are, my knees are okay.
Go ahead.
And not only that, we get so much joy, the interplay that John and I have together and that you've taken pictures of us reminded us of that as well. And that a track, I know, don't worry, honey. The dogs, this is their homes. Our dogs are all.
The mailman's coming up and she's like, I hate everybody.
Well, I would turn, I'm just going to really quickly, I just want you to see what kind of life I lead. Because I want you to see this. This is what my dog is doing.
Is this in Georgia?
Yep, same.
That's all my dog does. He just sits in the window.
Do you see mine?
I love it.
He just sits in the window. He's like, I guess this is the room we're in today. He just
So
sits and looks.
I remember when the Mexico thing came up on my end because we had already decided to work together. I was in LA and I had just met a mutual friend, Steven. And
Yeah.
Steven
And
was
my
like,
agent.
would you go to Mexico with Donna and Niki? I said, oh my God, how funny. I'm working on a song with them right now. It was serendipitous. It all kind of just like, we had always talked about working together and doing something, but it just happened this time. It was like, it was the right moment at the right time. And God said, get in there and get it going.
Yeah.
I have a question in the fact that like I was watching, sorry, Donna, do you have a thought? Go finish.
Oh, I was just going to say that initially, Tracy and I were texting, and you sent a bunch of samples of things. You were throwing things out there. You're like, how about this track or that track? Or I did this track for someone else. It didn't work out. What do you think? And I had all these ideas of like, melodies over, and I would voice record the melodies over her track. But the one that really stood out was Last Night a DJ Saved My Life. And I thought, how great that we start with this cover. It's from back in the day. I was a little disco dancer, and, in my teen years with my brother, we used to dance to that song. And it just worked out so perfectly. And then Niki went in and she started with doing her vocals in Georgia, right? Where you lay down in the studio.
Yeah, I think Niki
She
did
sent them
first.
to me, and then she kind of established the initial kind of sound and mood for the song vocally. And then I did my vocals, and we're recording artists. So, we're so used to that. It just goes like boom, boom, boom. She sends a track, she does the vocals, I do my vocals, and so it's super
And then
fun
they
process.
sent to me, and then I'm like, oh my God. And then when you put them together, it's just unbelievable. They sound so good together. So I was like, and then we went to Mexico, and then I was like, oh, this is happening. This is totally happening.
And that's really the magic, Kelly, is like, because Don and I have been doing this for years. Tracy, you've been doing this for years. But I'm letting you know, there are people that you can record with, and then there are people who you can sing live with. And sometimes that are not the same two things. Yeah. And so to find someone that it is just like automatic. A lot of times especially for female singers, a lot of times the people that they sound best with are people who are their relatives. So that's why I was my sister from another mister, because we don't even have to think about it. The sound, we know the colors that need to happen to make it sound like a beautiful one big voice together. And so, Tracy, thank you for reminding us that this is the other thing we do.
Thank you for reminding me why I do this too. It's like,
and also we also we're talking about the 80s and the 90s and the 2000s, and now it's 2025. Remember, we are recording artists, Donna, but we also came from an era where a lot of record companies required that you find this niche that you did. Now, it's not so much the same because of social media and because of artists who say, no, I want to act, I want to do Broadway, I want to sing country, I want to do all of it. Whereas we were not so much allowed to do that a lot of times. We got pushback for that. If I wanted to do a jazz record, they wanted me to do the dance record. If I wanted to do, whereas now it's like the sky is, to quote a Donna De Lory, the sky is open. It is, and it's bringing people into your realm that see their sky open, so that they know that they can paint with all the colors, that is not one thing we have to do. And so we're just, we are in here just playing. This is a playground, and we're on Tracy's playground. And so thank you for inviting us to play with you.
Oh, really. And thank you for having me, because I'm learning, and you guys are pros, and it's a love fest, Kelly, with us.
That's amazing.
I turn the lights out now. Turn the lights out now, baby.
I'm so excited to see us, to get us together on a big stage with our sparkly outfits. I have a whole Niki and Donna drawer with all my sparkly outfits. And they need to come out soon so we can do one of those shows together, because that's like the pure joy.
I do have to ask you,
Feel
you guys, Niki and Donna, about when you guys were coming up with Madonna and being not only vocalists but the backup dancers as well. Like that's for me at least at the time, and I think other people would agree with me. Like that wasn't really seen before. Like it was either you're a backup vocalist and you're doing a few moves, but it's the dancers that are behind Madonna or behind Janet or behind Paula or whatever. So like I think that set you guys apart. I'm sure you feel that way. I'm sure you've heard that from fans, but like, was that a mind shift for you knowing you would have to like take that on and do it, and then it became your thing?
Donna? I mean, for me, I'll be really honest with you.
Oh,
Yeah,
Donna.
Donna, did you freeze up? Okay, well, here's the deal for me. I come from perform. So background, front ground, side ground, make the show great, perform. That's what I was doing shows. And so for me, she was just this gigantic stage that I just got to have fun on. And the fact that she trusted Donna, and especially after that first tour when she just decided to make it just Donna and I, and then it became like a hang thing, doing all the award shows with her, and it became a real unit. And that was what was so beautiful about it. And I think it really said something about her, about trusting that we really had her back through all those years. And, and that's why she did bring us into the recording studio as well. So that became a sound for her as well, which I think are some of her best hits. Thank you very much. So not just lucky, we got to pour into each other. We became women together. It's like you start in your 20s and you leave it when you're in your 40s. That's a long time to stretch your soul, to once again pour into somebody. And what Don and I have realized, we were also pouring into each other. And so that's the beauty of it. It's just like, okay, thank you for that amazing moment in our life, because as we all know, these are all just moments. And thank you, Donna, for being wise enough to go, you know what? Those moments don't have to stop. We can create more moments. So, and thank you, Tracy, for saying, let's see what else we got to paint with. Let's see what other colors we got to do with this. So, yeah.
Donna, what was it like for you to know? Because I have no doubt that when you guys were on stage with Madonna, you obviously got your own fans because, hey, I know you, Tracy knew you guys. So what was it like to have fans and to have to deal with that and to embrace it? And now all these years later, because I've seen, YouTube videos of you guys doing your show in New York and the fans just being so excited to have you in that space and doing that. So all these years later, your fans are still with you.
Yeah. And it was, we were coming, we were seeing everything from a different perspective. We initially arrived in Japan to just crazy paparazzi, just getting out of the airport, walking down the hallway, Japanese schoolgirls and paparazzi coming at us with these cameras. It was overwhelming, but that was like, they knew her. We were part of the entourage. But as we worked with her, the fans did get to know us. And I remember before shows, I would walk out and, maybe hand out some postcards of our own music. Also, just sign some autographs and say hi to people. And it wasn't that crazy hysteria. I didn't ever have to really deal with that. I got to be more personable with people, even when we would leave our hotel and some people would follow and we'd get to talk with them and sign some autographs, which I still see pictures come up on the internet. And have that exchange, that real kind human connection. Some of my best memories. And then the next night I'd see them in this first, second row, wherever on stage. And it was just, we were all sharing this. And now when we reminisce about those times, we have that shared experience. And we're not, I just feel like it was very personal with the fans.
Yeah, it's interesting because when you start seeing like the Niki or the Donna signs out in the concert, in the audience, and they're holding Madonna's, I'm like, hope she doesn't get mad. It's like, but then you realize, no, we're still here. So she was being supportive too. But even more than just those particular years, the sweet spot for me is when I see the fans who are now in their 50s or who are in their 40s and their 60s, and they're like, you don't know what you meant to me. or I was suicidal at that moment. I didn't, know really what my sexuality was. And thank you for being there or they say, I used to imitate, I was Niki in the closet, or I was Donna or whatever. It's some, 60-year-old man who's like, I used to be you. And I'm like, what? And then they start doing the moves for you. And it's like, okay, I guess you were me at that point. But
That's so
you
sweet.
realize what place you hold in people's hearts.
Yeah.
And, especially in this like attention driven kind of culture we're in right now, to know that we didn't have any of that growing up, that we were really touching people on a real cellular level, that we never really knew. And it's so because of this now, we get to interact with some of those people and they get to tell us what it really meant to them,
It's incredible. It's my favorite part. We do our show, but afterwards when we get to sit there, we sit down, have our sparkly water,
meet and greet.
And we
always do a meet and greet.
Yeah. And it's incredible. It's incredible, the stories.
I wanted to ask you too, because a few years ago I was able to do, I put together a live stream of a bunch of Janet Jackson's dancers from the Velvet Rope Tour in 1998. And to have them all together, some of them hadn't seen each other like in a while, and to have them all on screen together, it was so crazy to watch them reminisce and to just go back to 1997, 1998. And they were really so appreciative of that experience and being with Janet at that time. And all these years later, now that you guys are obviously, you've had those memories with Madonna, and does it really, like, is it almost like, I don't even know, like, does it hit you in a certain way now, all these years later, to look back on those times and to just realize like what you did, how you did it, and the impact you have on fans to this day? Niki or Donna?
Donna?
I'm so proud of the work. And when I watch those performances, I love how we were so dropped into our characters. I love how theatrical it was. I love that feeling. I remember that feeling, putting on that costume and going out there. We were such a force. And we were like at our peak, I feel like, physically. So that's super fun to see when I saw that footage.
That's what I'm so glad that we have that, because the body is going to do what the body does.
Yeah.
You can, I'm obviously we're trying to stay in shape and everything, but aging is what it is, and we all know how this all ends. How the story ends eventually. But the reality is, like, when you get to see how much work you have done with your body, and remember, we're aging even in the film. From Who's That Girl to the Drowned World Tour, for me, our bodies completely changed. What we were doing when she started doing them like 16 knee bend things all night long and singing music, I was like, girl, and like we're almost 20 years older than when we first started, and we're doing this now. It's like, okay, but you feel like am I?
It's so true. I remember counting those.
Oh,
and
every night.
When we did the Grammy Awards and we did that routine, 1 or 2 weeks before that, I'd gotten hit by a tree. I was hiking and a tree fell down on my head and on my neck. So I was in so much pain during that, but it was like somehow I kept it together. And that's because I was in, what Niki is talking about, just being in really good shape and being strong, and how you can bounce back and recover. And also just the pure energy and adrenaline was amazing, but
don't forget, I remember remember that after the accident, remember you were saying, you can do this, Niki. And I was like, she had Madonna built special shoes for my legs. Yes. I had broken my leg, and I was like, I don't know if I can do. And we were walking on stones during Nothing Really Matters in these
with shoes that were like this.
I was like, she wants me to fall in front of Sting. That's what she wants.
That was incredible. Oh yeah, you're out there with a corset, kimono,
my leg wrapped up with bandages underneath, on this Japanese, and walking across. Oh yeah, and do it on stones. What?
They were prop rock.
I was like, all right. Anyway, yeah.
That realization was incredible. That moment
Tracy,
I remember thinking.
Go ahead, Niki.
I'm sorry.
No, finish.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying when it's really, really interesting to me, especially because it is like being an athlete. So you know what somebody like a Bo Jackson or a Michael Jordan, when they see the footage of themselves, like, whoa, did I just do that? Or a Magic Johnson. On some level, some of the stuff we did back then and sing to me was on some serious athletic, like people should come and train like that. You know, those 3 months of training that we do before we even go on the road. It's incredible.
Weren't we
Incredible.
doing handstands on chairs and
Yes,
singing
and
at the same
singing.
time?
And singing. Keep it together. I was like, what is she? Okay, well, you know.
Tracy, talk to us about, I have many questions for you also. What was it like when you met Donna and Niki for the first time? Like, how did that come about, and what was it like to meet? I'm sure obviously somebody you looked up to.
Well, I God bless you.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm trying to remember how we met.
Party.
I'm sorry?
A party.
Yeah, I
party.
think it was a party because I didn't really work on the tour. It's not I didn't really. I didn't work on the tour, but I did all the after parties, a lot of them. And I remember this is my first memory of Niki really. Was I had an after party at Crowbar and Niki came in. I knew her assistant Robbie, and Niki came in and I was like, girl, I know you're gonna get on this mic. And she's like, what do I do? What do I do? I was like, girl, just go with it. So I'm gonna play an instrumental and then you're just gonna do your thing. So, and then that became a thing. Remember, Nick? Like every
Boy, do
time.
I remember.
Yeah.
Boy, do I.
Exactly.
Some of the best are made that way, though. That's what's so cool about you. You give us a beat, baby, and you know, we can take it. So.
But because they wanted to, like, I actually, if you don't know me, I'm really shy, actually. So I don't know how I started getting in front of people, but so I'm always trying to take the spotlight off of me and put it on somebody else. So all these people, Niki comes up behind me in the booth, and everybody starts looking, and I'm like, okay, somebody's behind me. And that's what I did. I just said, Niki, you're going to get on this mic and go for it. So that's how I remember meeting Niki. And I know I met you at a party, Donna, but you know.
Miami. I think Miami.
It had to be Miami.
After, yeah.
I just, again, like I kind of am introverted, believe it or not. And I kind of keep to myself, really. But I met these two and I felt, I mean, I don't know, I grew up like everybody else, loving Madonna. And she was my source of inspiration, like from afar before I started working with her, by being that woman in the music business that beat down the doors for a male-dominated world. And every time somebody would say to me no, I would just say to myself, what would Madonna do? Or like that was how I used to think. So, and I did go to, what was the Truth or Dare? I was called the Truth or Dare show, but it wasn't the
Blonde Ambition.
Blonde Ambition.
That's funny.
I actually went to that. That was my first show in DC. And
Wow.
I remember seeing, I was way up in the nosebleed. I mean, it was amazing. I had to pinch myself when I met the two of them because to me, they were just, it was like meeting Madonna at the time, you know, and yeah, it was because to me, you guys were just as much part of her as it was meeting her. So, I mean, the three of your voices together, I mean, it's like butter. It's just the sound. And so, so I was always in the cities, a lot of the cities, not all of them, but when Madonna would have a concert and then people would hire me because they thought she would come, but the dancers and Niki and Donna would come. And So that's kind of how it happened with that, right? That's how I remember it.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. And I did have to ask, I'm a part of the LGBTQ plus community. I know Tracy, you are too. For you ladies,
I am sometimes.
you are sometimes. We appreciate that. We appreciate that. What do
Right,
you
Tracy? What happens in
Yeah,
Brazil stays in Brazil. What happens in Brazil stays
Exactly.
in Brazil.
that's
what do,
right.
what do your
But
gay
I
fans
want to
mean?
thank her. Call me back.
What do your LGBTQ plus fans mean to you? Because like you were talking about being at Pride events, and like there's so many artists like Crystal Waters, Cece Peniston, Martha Wash, like they make their bread and butter by being a part of this community constantly. I think you guys should be a part of this constantly. Is that where you're headed, and what do your gay fans mean to you?
Well, I've been doing my bread and butter has always been still, I've been doing prides on my own, and I, do the human rights campaign stuff for years. I mean, so I've, since the snap world, I have been like in Europe, and I'm so grateful to that community. My nephew, who is an amazing dancer, but also a gay man, has made sure that I do nothing, if anything, make sure that I'm doing as at least 2 to 3 prides a year, as well as I lost so many friends. I lost so many friends in the community during a very difficult time. Um, I I just want us to know that it's not just it's everybody needs to be together. That's what I feel from the LGBTQ plus community. I mean, I have a daughter who identifies as non-binary. I know the minute we can get rid of the labels and just love each other up and let the DJ save our lives,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a better place. But until then, I know that I have a career because of this community that continue to say to me, we don't care if you're with Madonna or not, just sing. Or as Tracy said, just take the mic. And I think that's what Donna and I have reminded each other. Just take the mic, and I believe we don't really even have to have some sort of platform, because there's so much love up in this community who supported us for so many years, because they did go through something that was so traumatic, pandemic wise. I mean, as far as
These last couple of
this
years.
world, these last, please, girl, I'll start crying
I
if I
mean,
think
look what
about.
happened to Donna just recently with the fires, and then
Yeah, don't.
I mean, it's like, can we get a break, please?
Can we
Please.
get,
Exactly.
look, my house is
I
still
know
sandwiched between one. Thank God I'm not there, but my house is definitely sandwiched between 2 fires right now. And I'm just, the good news is, like, as Don and I talk about, we've texted each other and said, it's like, God got us. And this is our mandate to stand even firmer in what we say we believe in. It's like, no weapon formed against us will prosper. No weapon. And that means for the LGBTQ community, they can do whatever they want to do. They can't take nothing away from, because everything I need, I already got. I really do. And that's what I want my people to remember.
Donna,
And the LGBT community are my people. And that, I think that's what Donna and I recognize. I'm gonna shut up. Go ahead, Donna. I'm sorry.
I love hearing you talk, Niki.
I feel
Please.
I have a personal story, because I grew up with a brother who was gay, and from when we were 5 years old playing dress up with my sister's clothes, my brother's a year older, and we were always so close. So I always felt
Did
protected.
you know, Donna? Did you always know?
I always knew, of course, because my brother would be like walking around like, pinch your earlobes. And he and his friend would like have all these sayings that they would say, and it was just so, my brother was my best friend, and I felt protective of him, at an early age, because I was kind of a tomboy, and we were just always so close. So I was always, sensitive to what he was going through in school, maybe with my mom criticizing him. Overall, my family was very supportive of my brother, which we were blessed for that. But just watching his path growing up in that time, he ended up getting with a dance company, and that was a whole thing with the leader of the dance company. A dynamic with that. And I was part of that too, but I was coming from a whole different, I was from a different place. It's interesting. We both auditioned, but he got the scholarship and I didn't, but we both went together to the dance classes every day. So a big part of why I'm dancing is because of my brother and being in clubs since we were young. And we used to be disco partners and everything. We loved dancing. We loved, sharing music. So flash forward, I'm in Nashville. I moved there when I was 16 and I finished high school there, but it was all country music. But there was one gay club that I got to go to dance, to really dance and
What year was that?
loose. Oh my God, this is like 1981.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it was the one place I could go and be free and I could dance and just be myself and be who I was growing up and being in the clubs with my brother and everything. And so I just had such community there. And I would honestly, it was not in a great part of town. I remember by myself being 16 years old, parking my car and walking to get to this club. But when I got there, I just felt so safe. And that was my community. So it was just natural for me. And then ending up working with Madonna and the community of dancers and everything. I'd grown up with all the dancers and it was, like I said, it was very natural. Then when my solo record ended up coming out, I had a lot of fans. I realized from LGBTQ plus community that were supporting me. That was my base, when my record came out. And I had
really interesting. It's interesting, Donna, that you used the word, and it just flashed in my head to protection, about protecting, feeling protect. And that's something I remember my nephew leaving Michigan and because he got caught with a knife because he was a gay young man and he was carrying a knife to school. And of course they had a zero tolerance policy. So he had to come to California. And I realized just when you were saying that, it's how many young boys and young girls and now trans kids go to school and don't feel protected, and the fact that this community has embraced us and that's what feels good to me. It's I don't mind getting old in this business because I feel really protected in this community. I feel really, really, really protected in this community.
I agree. And I feel like Niki and our message when we perform and then we do our meet and greets, we're so filled with love. And I feel like we have so much to give, first and foremost, with each other, to practice forgiveness and acceptance and listening deeply. And it's been a road for us, but we're there together doing this and we're examples of this just,
and something that the LGBTQ community could learn a little bit of too. Because I see some of these little beasts, they get a little nasty online. They can learn to be a little bit more loving to each other. To learn how
everybody. That's not just that community.
Well, I'm saying everybody. It's learning to be with somebody who don't look like you, who didn't grow up just like you, who don't necessarily think who doesn't live always, doesn't pray the same way you do. It's okay, but let them know that you're a sentient being in this beautiful, amazing world that is burning up, trying to let us know that look, I'm only gonna take this for so much longer before she gonna be fine. She gonna get rid of us.
Niki did the chair. She's
gonna be fine.
I know what our next song is gonna be called. Preach, girl, preach.
Preach, girl.
I'm praying.
Yes.
Right. No, what was the song?
On the chair.
What? No, the song was "What Would It Do?" What would Jesus do? What all these people you say what would Buddha do in times like this? Be more loving, be more forgiving. What would it do? Would it love somebody? What would it do? Anyway, we just wrote a song. So
Kelly's okay.
Kelly's like I asked one question.
They are three cuckoo birds.
I just want to say that when I was going through this, 2 weeks ago, I evacuated. I had the flu. I was so sick. And I'm in this other place thinking the day I thought my house was going to completely burn. And I walked out with nothing because I was so sick. I couldn't even think. I had to get out before the power went out. And Niki sent me this most incredible message, which we should make into a song. I thought she always has those right words to say, you know,
She
and
does.
and
You
to
do.
she just put me back to my, you know, that's what friends are there. We're all, and even if it's online and it's a comment, let's get each other back to this center point and remind each other of
Anchor.
our strength. Anchoring. She's like, God would not give you anything that you could not handle.
Amen.
You got this. You may lose. There's no, you know, you are okay, and that's all that matters, really.
Lucy's
and
okay. You're okay.
go deep in that, and all this stuff, which is going to all go away one day anyway. You know, I thought, wow. You know, it was actually, I had a moment of like, wow, this is freeing. You know, and I read your, when I was sick back 3 years ago, you know, it's like I read your texts over and over again, and they're always just
Girl, don't make me cry.
They're
Don't
so
make me do it.
perfect, and that's what we can all be for each other. And we don't live, you know, we live across the country, but we can all be this way for each other through comments. And back to our fans, I try to read every comment, and I really deeply feel it, and this is what keeps us going. You know, it really is this support and reminding us how much we still have to do together.
When you guys were, I'm going to just use Blonde Ambition for a second. When you guys were out on that tour, I know I can only imagine the storm that you guys were in a way, just because it was such a big tour. So many people went out to see it. It was huge, like news, like obviously when the doc came out and everything. Did you know how much joy and love that you guys were spreading to the fans and the LGBTQ plus community at the time, knowing that you were giving people a safe place to be, or were you too much in the bubble and didn't know the impact you were having at that time?
I felt like, I remember the screening. Everything just felt so like normal to me, you know. I didn't, because that's just the way this community we're in, and we'd all been playing Truth or Dare every night, and everything happened that was not in the movie. I mean, we knew each other in such an intimate way, all of us, you know, that it didn't, you know, it didn't shock me. It didn't. I mean, there were a couple things that involved other people with their personal stories that was hard, that we had to really be there for each other for that. But when I really realized not everyone lives in Los Angeles and New York, you know, and people that are seeing this film, and now I continuously, when we have fans come up to us after our show and let us know how empowering that was, those scenes.
Oh my God.
Oh, and I'm from a very, very small town in Michigan. Hello.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I was at that point, I did not know the impact we were having until, like you said, the movie came out. Because I was getting, like, you know, my mother was getting mail at Whirlpool where she worked, you know, your daughter works for the devil, all this kind of stuff. And for me, I was like, what's the big deal? I also feel very, very lucky that the cameras were, other people were holding them. None of us had cameras that we were doing. So we weren't putting it out on ourselves. This was just something that was filmed of us. So it's a different kind of story that is being told, because you have these people who are really just being naked in front of the camera, as opposed to making it a, what do you call it? Pre-stage, whatever. This was the first reality TV, really, because nothing was like set up per se. And we didn't have an agenda. The cameras were following us. Okay, we doing what we're doing. So no, I don't think I had the impact, knew what the impact would be, because I didn't understand what the impact of a camera following you around would be. As you see now, how a camera following you around all the time can completely shift how this world, you know, operates, because that's what we're dealing with right now.
Something that I've always wanted to ask, because I've been fortunate to interview a lot of dancers that have worked with some major artists, and we always end up talking about award shows at some point. Like, do they love doing them? Was it fun? Like, and then even seeing other artists, and it's always interesting to hear the different answers. Did you guys enjoy doing award show performances like with Madonna? And was it fun to be a part of it? Was it fun to see other acts, or was there a bit of competition between different camps?
I can say that when we did those award shows, Madonna was just like queen. We'd walk in there. We got to sound check whenever we wanted to sound check. Wow. We got the opening slot. We got the slot that she wanted. And so when we walked
open or close, we'd open or close, nothing in the middle.
We walk in that room and everyone is just like, "What can we get you? What do you need?" And she included us in that. So we felt also like, we had the respect to get the sound we needed and to make sure the floor was fine for us, as much as humanly possible. But there's nothing like that feeling going out there and just knowing what power you have, going and opening a show like when we did Express Yourself. And
for me, it was the Queen, the MTV Awards, the Louis XIV.
God!
For me, it was like when we did that, I was like, yeah, what this is. You can't get much better than this. This is unfair, Madonna. This is unfair.
Niki, put the hand back.
It was like, Madonna, this is unfair. Now you ain't supposed to be coming like this for these people. But
wow.
This was the height of MTV at that point too. This is when a video could make or break your career, and I remember being backstage and with the cigarettes with George Michael, and like thinking
what,
and her just going, come on, walk out here with me, and we're like okay, it's like this is what we're doing. She trusted us, and we just trusted her. Like, okay, we're just gonna go for it and let's see what happens. As time went on, it was very much more meticulous. Like I said, we would the walking on boulders by the time we got there, opening for the Grammys, it was just like, okay, I don't know how we're gonna do this. And when you hear, ladies and gentlemen, the 47th Grammy, and the curtains open, it's like performing for 400 million people, and I was like, that comes. How many? I'm like, how many? What it say? And you look down, it's like, oh, Mick Jagger, Mariah.
Yeah, Niki was a comedian too, did you?
No, but you hear that announcement right down, and we're standing on these freaking stones, and it's like, performing live for 400 million people. I'm like, how many?
And I'm thinking about your ankle, and I remember glancing over like, we're both like just checking each other out, like are we okay here,
And she was in such great shape that she was like, okay, let's do
God.
this position.
Well, the good thing was there were other elements, other things going on stage with the dancers and the set and everything. So in case we did a little,
but that was one of the smarter sets.
Y'all are funny.
And did you know the Rolling Stone magazine considered our performance, the Express Yourself, just the three of us, her best performance ever. It's not the Blonde Ambition. They said her best performance was because of her two sidekicks with her, keeping it simple and just doing Madonna.
It was. I was a fan. Like
she turned walking down steps with some lights, simple, clean, to the point.
Was there when you would be at award shows, for example, was there competition between the camps, like you wanting to outdo like the Janet camp or the Paula camp, or was everybody super supportive of each other? I'm always interested to find out how that rolls.
Wasn't nobody coming for us.
She going for the dirt. She going for the dirt.
Nobody coming for us.
No. I mean,
Excuse me.
It was so clear to me that when we were there,
Yeah.
I mean, and here's the we were
deal.
just the ultimate act, and that was it.
And the reality is, a lot of those dancers had auditioned for us. A lot of those dancers wanted those gigs and wanted that gig. So you know, a lot of them were trying to just look at our rehearsals. They just wanted to come and sit around and watch our rehearsals. So no, and Madonna was not having that from us. When we were working, we were working. It wasn't like we were running out trying to like see perform. We didn't have time for that. Okay. It was, you know, a lot of hair, a lot of makeup, a lot of, you know, and you don't want to take a chance of hurting yourself just by, tripping or something backstage somewhere. Sit your butt down until it's time to perform. Like, you didn't want to take that chance.
This is so funny. I went up to my favorite singer, Emmylou Harris, backstage when I had all that kabuki makeup and the hair and everything. And I mean, you can imagine, you know, I just went up to her like, "You're my favorite singer. I love you so much," and everything. That was exciting. And do you remember when we went up to Dana Carvey? That was super fun. Backstage.
I remember.
The awards. We did, Niki and I did our imitation of Church Lady for Dana Carvey.
Right.
Okay, do it.
I have so many. What?
Not special.
Not special.
Yeah. He loved it.
Trust me, I have so many embarrassing moments where I went up to people and like, because I was still, you know, fanning out, but my, you know, mine were legends, you know, so like, I remember, you know, I can't even say, like, my Gladys Knight story is just like one I will never live down, you know, to the point where I had to call my mother, and my mother said, "Call her now and kiss her feet." You know, it is what it is, you know. You just got to bow at Gladys Knight. You got to bow when you see Aretha Franklin. You got to. There's nothing.
Right, yeah. You met Aretha?
Yeah. Yes. Right. Grammys, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel you.
I feel you. What you gonna do? Yeah, I wasn't really. Yeah, you know, I did inauguration with Mary J and stuff like that. But it was for me. It was like, it's like when somebody who says, you know, when they play for Elvis. It's not like they're running after everybody. It's like, I was with the female Elvis. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good, y'all.
Tracy, when was it when you got the Grammy? Was that a couple of years ago?
Let's see. I was nominated. I think it's here. Hold on.
2019? If I did the research correctly.
My dog's trying to get in. He's trying to get in the picture. Sorry. Calvin.
Look at
He's like, I want to get on camera. I want to get.
Sweet.
Good job, Tracy.
Were you really surprised?
2020. Oh my God, yes.
Wow.
Well, the way that happened, I took a class because I always felt I went to engineering school, and like, I think it was 18 or maybe it was 19. Anyway, because I had learned hands-on, and I always felt in a room full of men, I wanted to have the edge. I wanted to know more, or at least know as much. Mm-hmm. And I never felt confident, I guess, until I did that class. So it was a 9-month class, and Madonna's album was coming out. And I was like, God, I've learned so much. What are the chances? So I texted Ingrid, and I said, Ingrid, I have an idea. And then next thing you know, I'm texting Madonna, and I just said, I think I Rise is your LGBTQ anthem. Let me get my hands on it and make it ready for the children. Wow. And okay. And then I was like, oh, okay. Like, you know, I can't. It's always like, I always expect her to move on. Like, I never expected this train to ride so long. Because she's an artist, and I want to do different things. So I understand when other people want to do different things. And I guess I thought it was going to be a couple remixes, some parties, and then that was it. But 25 years later, 30 years later, and I have a Grammy with her, and it's so anyway. So I'm the type of person, I'm like, let me get this on the radio. Let me do this. Let me do this. And I just kept asking her, can I do this? Can I do this? Next thing you know, it's on Sirius and it's everywhere. So, and then I texted her and I said, let's submit this for a Grammy. And then I was like, a girl can dream. She goes, go ahead. And I was like, well, you have to release it. And then for it to be submitted. And she did. And yeah, like it's moments like that like she's just very selfless in those moments, and she didn't have to do that, but so for that, because it wasn't like anything that it kind of organically just happened, that it was never on the agenda, it was never part of the Interscope plan and I was very surprised. I couldn't believe I was even nominated, let alone win.
It's such a great remix.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
And what did it feel like, Tracy? Because I did watch your speech when you won the Grammy, and so can you walk us through that? Like, was it an out of body experience when they called your name?
Oh my God! Like. I'm not really like a feminist or anything, but when you're a woman in this business, people say no to me all the time. And I just didn't expect it. I was all the way in the back, because once again, I don't want to be up front. I was sitting in the back. So the music starts playing and they say my name, and my brother was my date. And he was recording me, and I have it on film, and I shut my eyes, and they said my name, and I was like, what? So, and then I had to walk so far, and the music's playing, and they say, you got to get down there in like record time. And I was like, get a little workout.
And so get that workout.
Good thing it was.
Yeah, and I had just written some notes, and I'm like, okay, I wrote some stuff down, but I really, truly was not prepared. And I just thanked the obvious, and then I got choked up. And because for me, I feel like Madonna's done so much for me personally, because I'm a DJ. I always feel like I play like other people's music, and like I'm always like there's always somebody way more talented than me, is how I feel. And when Madonna and I started working together, people didn't even know until I started producing for her, because I did a bunch of parties. And I never expected. So when I won the Grammy with her, it was like, okay, like I'm so glad it was her, because I am that grateful for the opportunities that she gave me.
What did she text you? Can you tell us? Or did she obviously texted her, you spoke on the phone after you won the Grammy?
No, I texted her and I said we won, and she did the emojis.
That's amazing.
She had a mouthful, the emojis.
So back to the song we have to talk about. So the song is coming out. By the time this gets released, it will be out, but we're going to get this interview out very soon. I know we talked a little bit off the top about making the decision for it. Do you know you have a hit on your hands? I'm sure you do, but like, do you feel something special about this? Niki, start with you.
Oh yeah, let me hear this. Put the hand back. Put the hand back.
I'll be really honest with you. I think anything that Don and I do is magic. So I'm definitely biased in that respect. Add Tracy's dance mix on there. As far as I'm concerned, it's going to be funky and it's going to be great. I don't know anything about hits, what makes a hit. I don't know. I'm enjoying just being on the dance floor with my girls. Yeah. Whether it's a hit or any of that, I have no idea.
Donna?
You never know.
I totally agree. Although I have to just say, like, for what's been going on lately, the fact that I could picture ourselves very soon up there doing this song and celebrating with everyone. I think it's it's important. It's an important song right now in this time.
We need some life saving right now. Everybody need a life. We need a life preserver, y'all.
And life and music saves us. That's the ultimate message that we have. You know, Niki and I were both raised in musical families, and we had musical fathers, and we know the power of what music and have that passion. So I think we all share this passion, and this is the first song that we're coming out with. So I think there's a lot of good energy around it, and we have really great supporters out there. So I hope they really celebrate this song.
Tracy, what do you want people to know about the song?
Well, I will say that part, both of what they said, because I'm doing what I love, and I'm doing it in a different way. I've done remixes for so long that this is actually an original. And people always say, Tracy, your remix of Last Night at DJ. No, it's an original. So I will say that I feel the same way in working with two of the best singers I've ever heard. And I mean, I've heard a lot of them. So it's very joyful, and I feel blessed. But there's a part where I get the feedback, because I go in the clubs and I play it, and I get the response, and people call me, and I get feedback all the time. And I know they're excited about this collaboration just as a concept.
Yeah.
And they're dying to hear the song. And those of the people that have heard the song tell me, oh, that's going to be big. But you never know. It's like, does the spaghetti on the wall stick? Like, you just never know. I don't do it for that. I put my passion into it, and you want to hit, but and you want 20 more years of being able to do this, but I mean, the feedback that I've been getting is over the top outstanding. Like, okay, let me ask you a question, Kelly. How did you hear about the song?
Because I follow all.
You reached out. I'm sorry.
I reached out to you guys because I follow all three of you on social media.
Okay.
And so when
I'm on social media.
Well,
believe it or not, you are.
I'm on social media.
Virgin. By the way, Niki, that's going viral. Like a virgin. Because you said 2025.
I did. Oops.
Really?
I did.
I gotta watch that again.
Yeah, and people are tagging me. Now I'm getting your fans are coming on to me.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I'm a prophet. Sorry.
Yeah, you were like a virgin.
2025.
Anyway, so yeah. So
have you heard it, Kelly?
I have not. So I'm very excited to hear this. So I'm
Did you pre-save? Did you pre-save?
Yes, I did. So I'm excited. I cannot wait for this to come out.
And here's the good news. This is just the first one. We got more in the pike.
Wait till you hear the second one.
That's what I wanted to ask you guys, because I know you said off the top that you worked on a few, because I can actually see from my perspective right now, staring at the three of you on screen, there's a sparkle in each of your eyes, that this is like a something. So you're obviously feeling like this is a something. The songs that you've picked, can you give us any hint that's the other ones that are coming? Is there 90s vibes? Is it like, can you tell us anything for your fans?
Drum roll, please. No, you do it. You say it. It's because it came from you, Donna.
Well, I feel that the song, it's so amazing. Back to Mexico, we were doing our sound check, and we had someone else work on this remix for us for this song called I Know You, I Love You from our original EP. And Tracy was like going crazy over this. I'm like, really? She's like, this is great. I love this. Get me these tracks. And I was like, right when we got them, she's like, I need those tracks. And I got back and I called Mitch and I'm like, can you get me all the tracks, but make sure you get all the vocals and all the stuff you did, because make sure you even give her the horn parts, everything. I totally trusted you, you know,
Oh, that
knew
means the world to me. Thank
you
you.
were going to use exactly what was necessary. I didn't have to worry about like, do you know what I mean? Like, oh, well,
But
those other
then I heard the
parts.
production on this track, and I was like, God, that is so good.
That was for our dance
Like the
show.
music, like,
Yeah,
and
it
it's
worked.
just they are so they're just I'm so blessed and grateful to be working with them, and because I always feel like I could learn and be better all the time too. And I don't know. So I get these tracks and I'm like, what am I gonna do with this song? This song is I need my touch. So but I love how it turned out. Y'all
Me
killed
too.
it.
Me too.
It's
And
And it
such
honestly, I
feels
love.
like I'm not gonna. I mean, what I want to say is, I love the concept of taking these amazing classics and taking them to another place. What did I say? T and D, the
oh, yeah.
next dimension, the next
What do you
dimension.
think of that, Kelly?
I
T
think
and
that's
D.
Tracy,
amazing.
Nikki, and Donna. Tracy, Nikki, and
I
Donna.
love it.
We take it to the next dimension,
Are you
baby.
going to
So
head out on the road? Like, are we going to get tours? And please come to Montreal because Montreal loves you. So
Let's do it.
Where can we do it there?
we'll speak after and I'll give you a few club names for sure.
Let's
Venues.
do it.
No problem. Because I
I'm
think
ready to go.
I'm speaking as again, like I'm hoping I'm putting all your fans and all the dance and pop fans on my shoulders right now. Like to have you guys back and doing this as a trio, I think is next level magic. So I really hope you guys take
see,
that.
next level, the next dimension, the next dimension.
Oh!
I'm telling you, taking it to the next, and we're introducing this music to a whole new audience.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of these young kids don't know these songs,
Mhm.
so
Okay,
it feels
so
good.
the song is a Shaka Khan original. Did you say that, Donna? I think you did, maybe.
Yeah, Shaka Khan song.
Okay,
And
my bad. I'm
it's
so
just,
excited thinking about the song.
you know, Nikki heard this song in a different way initially and how we could sing this to each other.
Mhm.
And the message is, I know you. I live you.
I've lived you.
I've lived
Like,
you. I know
Yeah.
you. And back to like how we relate with one another and how we love each other and appreciate each other. And the song.
And we had done it in a very folky kind of stripped down way on our EP, and
Yeah.
we were like, but the original song is so big that was like, okay, we got to put some of that magic back on it too. So,
I
and
just
especially
had
for
an
our dance
idea.
show.
The
Uh-oh, what?
anthem.
We need
Yeah.
to release your version also.
What do you mean?
With it?
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
it's so good. See, my brain, the ADD's coming out.
And which
back
one are we going to do next?
Hey, I'm coming back.
And because
I've been thinking of songs for the next one.
yeah, keep thinking. And are we going to get an EP or like an album? Are we? Fingers
As
crossed.
far as I'm concerned, we are.
Okay,
We have
great.
to.
So
She's
then,
got Tracy yin yang. If she just like lets us just write some stuff on these tracks, we're gonna get some stuff out.
amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I cannot wait to hear it. I have a few questions I need to ask you because I don't want to keep up your whole afternoon, even though I would talk to you for 3 hours straight. For your fans that I know want to ask these questions. First of all, I saw all of you post about when Christopher passed away, Madonna's brother. So can I get your thoughts on his passing and what he meant to you guys and to Madonna's career? Because so many of us, you know, followed along on that ride. Can I start with you, Donna?
I always appreciated how much Christopher was supportive and recognized Nikki and I, you know, and he was really instrumental, I feel. And I remember the Girly Show when Nikki and I had such a big part of that show. And, you know, from sitting on the stools and singing Rain, I feel like he recognized that magic. And, you know, he had a big part of the artistic direction of that show. So I remember that show and just how tasteful it was. And I always admired him so much as a great artist. And I knew his influence on Madonna as well as just having so much fun with him back in the day, dancing. Remember how he used to dance?
He was my dance partner.
He had this dance. It was so unique and so much fun. And he reminded me of my brother too, in that relationship I have with my brother. So I had been sick myself 3 years ago and went through the whole, you know, my whole healing process. I really wanted to be able to be there when we spoke on, remember Niki, when we were all on the Zoom together, and I wanted to be supportive and everything, but he had I respected he had his own process and what he was going through, the decisions he made, and I just prayed for him and appreciate him and what he's given to this world.
Niki?
Chris, what should I say, Christopher? He talks to me every day. He talks to me every day. I talk to Christopher at least once a week for, I saw him on his last birthday before he passed. Christopher was one of the first gay men that I knew that I had fallen in love with, but I didn't know he was gay. That's how young I was when I met him.
Wow.
And he had to like literally let me know, like, you do understand I'm gay, right? And I was like, so?
I still
I'm like,
don't know.
so?
Yeah.
I was like, don't you understand who I think I am? All people love me. Like, yes, I love you, but I can't love you in that way. And we became like this after that. I mean, we really sat down and had that long conversation to the point, even when I broke my legs on the before the Drowned World tour, he wanted to have a child, and he and I sat down and started having serious conversations about possibly having a child. I had not had a child yet, and I was, we were really thinking what that would be have been like if we were to do that. So, because we loved each other that much, because I knew the dark Chris, I knew the light Chris, I knew the silly Chris. Christopher is just painted with all the colors. Let me go back. I'll go back to my old analogy. Painted with all the colors. He's one no. That's and maybe that's why he liked me, because I'm gonna definitely put my foot in my mouth sometimes, because I'm gonna say too much or whatever, but ain't no. And I think that's what we loved about each other, and that's what I'm gonna miss, because that was somebody I could always call, and wasn't ever any bullshit. We could just, and he really did love Michigan too, and I still love Michigan. He loved water, he loved snow, all things, simple things. He would, send me sauce recipes, just like, try this sauce tonight. He was a really good cook. Stuff like that I'm a mess. And as far as being an artist, his presence was the art. His presence was the art. And just like any work of art, either you liked it or you didn't. Either you liked it or you didn't. And quite frankly, the art don't give a if you like it or not. And I think that's kind of how he was, because he was going to be himself, and that's what I loved about him. And I miss him terribly.
Tracy?
So
I have a little guilt because Chris and we kind of lost touch. And I didn't know he was sick until Mexico, actually. And I didn't call him, but he lived in Miami, and we used to go to dinners a lot, and he would always bring singers. He was always trying to connect me with somebody, something, put something together. Like, I want you to meet this singer, actually, who I still am in touch with, and we've been writing some stuff. And his name is Julian. And Chris was like, he's cute. And he's like, you better do this damn record for him, because I like him. and he's in love with you and whatever. Like, that was Chris. And he lived here a lot of the year. And there's not one specific thing that I remember, other than I want to kill myself, because, not literally, but I just am so mad at myself for being so caught up in my world and not reaching out to him. And part of that may have been like, you know, you want to give people space and because they're going through something and they don't want to hear from me. But anyway, I do remember Chris and us going out and we were always dancing and he always was up to go out and just always connected me with somebody and wanting to put a project together. That's how I remember him. But I hadn't spoken to him in too long. So
Well, thank you.
The good news is that Christopher, you said something. Christopher was always introducing the singers.
The day I found out he passed, I was going through some of my mom's stuff and a picture dropped out randomly. And it was the picture I posted. And I was like, okay, I'm going to call him now. And literally, that was him talking to me because he knew how sensitive I was and how I get really, I don't know, I guess I'm driven by my emotions a lot. And I wear my heart on my sleeve. And I guess that was his way of telling me it's okay. Like, I don't know. That's how I feel more comfortable about not connecting with him when I should have. But you know, we had a lot of fun together when he lived here, and yeah, always putting stuff together, always putting me in a position with somebody he was trying to be with.
I do want to say that he loves singers, and I remember to this day he was so like, are you sure, when Don and I started doing our project again, he's like, can you guys are old, you guys are women now, can you guys do this? But he's like, he's like, can you sure you can do this? And I was like, I don't know.
Being very protective, I think he did.
No,
he was,
but he said, you guys are great singers. He's like, anything you sing on, it's going to be beautiful. It's just going to be beautiful. So he was very, very happy. And I wish you could have been here to hear the dance stuff, because he did like the beautiful stripped down versions of our stuff. And he was so grateful when we started doing live music, because he loves live singing. He loved it. So,
but I will say that if you didn't know Chris, he'd put up a wall to make sure, like, like he was probably misunderstood, at least from my vantage point. But I knew better. I saw through that. So,
well, on behalf of the fans, thank you for sharing that, because I know so many of us were obviously so sad to hear of his passing, and then to see your lovely tributes, just to hear it verbally, it adds something to his passing. So thank you for that. And I did want to ask you too, I had a couple of people reach out to me knowing I was going to speak to you guys today. They had a couple of quick questions. So I said, I'll see if I can get these done quickly. They wanted to know from each of you, favorite Madonna tour. So Niki, I'll start with you.
Not fair.
Donna, want to start first?
Oh, that's difficult.
Oh,
hard. That's a hard one.
Yeah, they're all so different.
I mean, I feel Blonde Ambition, because we had already done one tour. You know, that first tour was like overwhelming. You know, but in a great way. You know, I grew up a lot on stage with her on that tour. So then the next tour just myself felt more comfortable in my own skin, and felt, I think, physically more, just a lot stronger. There was more demanded of us, and we were just really rising to the occasion. It was super fun. And then personally, I mean, so much fun. You know, I remember us in Paris at the cafes, and just, I got so many peak memories from that time.
That's so cool.
And my brother was there with us too in Paris.
Girly show.
That too. That's why it's a toss up between those two.
It's a toss up, because I love see, for me, what happens with Blonde Ambition for me, I love Blonde Ambition, and then we get to the Dick Tracy part. I'm like, okay, let's get through it. But Girly Show for me, the band was so swinging.
Okay,
and
yeah.
Madonna was so
Funky,
her
yeah.
feet, she was so funky. So for me, Girly Show was like Madonna was like, she danced her ass off. That La Isla Bonita version in Girly Show, the holiday version, my choreography, but no, but she was so funky, and it was a band that everything could have fallen apart, everything, but that band could have held everything together. They could have taken every song and mismatched and made it so not a tape, not a nothing was needed, and it felt. For me as a jazz musician, it just felt so good to know that we got glory behind us. And it made her be so open. And she could concentrate on just singing good, just dancing good. And for me, that was free. We were still corseted up in Blonde Ambition. We were still a lot of forces going on.
You were tight. You were tight.
lot of forces.
It's true. You had to think about what you ate the night before.
Yeah.
Like, it was going to be miserable. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, then thank you, John Paul Gaultier, for the striped little top and some black pants and some good flat shoes.
Exactly. We finally got our flat shoes. Yeah. That's
Tracy, tell me which favorite tour, but then I have a costume question for you guys as well. Tracy, what's your favorite tour?
Well, I obviously like Blonde Ambition. I mean, that was everybody's favorite.
Right.
But I also liked Confessions a lot because it was for me, it was like continuous music. It was almost like it was mixed. Like from a musical perspective, it was like a DJ was doing it, and I guess it was
more electronic.
And I really loved the scene in the red dress when she was up on that screen grooving. Yeah, but
so costume question I have to ask is favorite costume and costume that wasn't as fun to deal with.
I think they just said it.
It's the corset
costume this is how you know we were really young. That dang plastic freaking zip up leather
exactly
from Girly Show that would pop open. I mean, from Who's That Girl?
Exactly.
Who's That Girl? Leather, pleather, whatever, and it would pop open. You'd be like, did I wear a G-string tonight? I don't know, but I'm just showing all the world my.
You never knew when it was going to pop open, and for me, I think it was opening night in Japan. I mean, it was like we were down there in front of 80,000 people, and it was open, and I'm just like trying to do the choreography and keep this dress
and dance on a conveyor belt and dance on a conveyor. I was like, y'all, come on now. This is sabotage. Somebody sabotage us.
It would
do you have a favorite costume? Anybody?
Not me.
Favorite costume? I feel like when we had a comfortable shirt and the flat shoes. Yeah, like what Niki
favorite
said.
costume for me all day long.
Naked.
Is, huh? Yeah, that too. We like that one. For me, the sailor pants with the hanky panky, the suit jacket on, and then being able to have just that little shirt on with the beautiful black overlay. Is that Dolce & Gabbana who did that? I can't remember which one of them, but it was just like so smart. It was pure like theater, so quick change, but everything was comfortable. It wasn't like you're like, oh God, I can't do,
I like that. Actually, I do have a favorite costume. When y'all came out in those pantsuits, that was fierce.
Is that
once again
for music?
Yeah. That's
Blonde Ambition.
Blonde Ambition. All those pantsuits with the.
I love the suits. I still have them. No, I'm not gonna get in it. I'm gonna get in it.
Suit. Yeah.
It's inspiring me.
You look like you could get in it right about now. You looking good over there.
honey.
We should
Hey.
do-
Hello, Stairmaster.
Good for you.
Speaking of
You
getting
do
in
photos
shape,
in those costumes.
favorite
again.
choreography, Nikki?
Oh, mine.
Okay.
Holiday, girly show. What the f-? Yo, come on, yeah. That with the James Brown holiday. Funky, come on, all day long.
Amazing.
I'm
All day.
always go funk.
All day. Donna?
Okay.
Vogue, MTV Awards.
Okay. Tracy?
I thought you meant tour.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. Whatever.
Oh, well, so yeah.
Okay, choreography.
I will bow to Donna on that one. You are very right. Best
Yeah.
choreographer overall.
But I
Well,
like the early stuff because obviously they are getting it. Like if you watch that early stuff on YouTube, I watched it not too long ago, and y'all, I don't know how you did it. You must have. I mean, they are dancing.
Yeah, they are.
And
Yeah.
that early stuff, nobody can top that. And y'all were part of it. So, hats.
we did it.
Now, I'm wrapping up, but I read that you guys went to see the Celebration tour when did you see her? Did you talk to her? I wasn't clear on that. Did you hang out? No? You went to see
We
the
did
tour?
not hang out.
Did
We were
not.
right there in front, but we had such a blast.
Okay.
We had a
It
great
was
time.
colder than snot. It was colder than snot in New York City. I was just like, you know what? I don't know how you do this. No.
Yeah, it was crazy, and it's really funny because I hadn't seen the show at all, and I think Nikki had seen clips. So when it got to, I think is it called on Madonna, right?
I was like, I'm out.
I didn't think ever that would be her last song. I just never thought that would be. And Nikki's like, we got to get out of here, and I'm like, I want to see I want to see more of the show. She's like, this is her last song. And so Nikki just kind of takes off, and I'm like, wait. And we get in the stairway, and then people just start flooding out.
That's what I knew was going to happen.
If I may say so,
You knew it.
I think if Madonna had brought you guys on stage, it would have been.
Yeah.
People would have lost their mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have gone. I mean, they're just part of her legacy.
Yeah, well, that's it. Like, and I know because I saw it here in Montreal just like a year ago. Actually, I think it was like a year ago, like almost exactly to the day. And I remember speaking to my better half, and I'm like, Nikki and Donna should be here. Like
Always. Yeah.
And
Nikki and I were doing a Billboard interview, and I think they had been speaking with Madonna's management or something, and they were telling them that we were going to be there at the same time. So her management reached out to us and said, we want you to come see
They
the show.
gave us the tickets.
Which is really sweet.
Because we had sold out shows. We were doing shows.
We had our own shows, and which was so fulfilling and incredible. And when they asked us to come to the show, it was really sweet. I thought, yeah, that'd be fun to get on stage. I mean, if it happened, but I wasn't at all attached to it.
Would have
in
been.
any way.
It would have.
I think the fans were.
Yeah.
A lot of the fans were really wanting that really bad, so they were disappointed. But I had a great time because I knew this was. I looked over at Nikki and I'm like, this is a once in a lifetime experience here.
Right. Well, you know what? Actually, if I may interject again, because I'm gonna anyway. You all got to see you all got to enjoy the show, and that's probably very different from you if you think about it. Like,
when people say to me, why didn't she bring you guys up on stage? I just tell them she did. We got to sit and she did bring us up on stage.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all know it, but they're like, all that celebration up there, we poured into that. I'm looking up, we see us, we hear our voices, we see our pictures. She did bring us up on stage.
yeah.
So I have to stay there with it.
I mean, I just.
Why didn't it? Could it, shoulda, woulda? It's like, no, she did. She put us up on stage. And everything that we poured is still up there. And that's why the fans really like, we want to see you guys up there. Whatever. It's like, we are up there. And that's what I have to tell myself. Because it's like, I want to hold a good, loving space of like those. Once again, not only did we pour into her, she poured into us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she brought us together. She brought us together.
So I'm like,
I mean,
we are
when
so
y'all
good.
it was magic. Like what y'all did, and it was all three of y'all because.
And if she ever call us again, it can be magic again.
I wanted to ask you that.
We're still going to sound great together.
We're
Yeah.
still gonna sound great together. Yeah.
Because there's a certain thing, and I've heard it about other artists when it comes to even some of their dancers and stuff, like when that team moves on, it's never the same. It's different and it might be good or as good or better or whatever, but it's like never the same. And I think for all of us who grew up in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s and like you were a part of that, like we want you back. So if she were to ask you and I'm hoping I'm big about manifesting. So if we're putting this into the universe, if Madonna goes out on a tour and celebrates again, will you go? Would you go?
If my knees will hold up, shit, I'm old.
Can you walk on them stones, Nick?
She knows exactly how bad my knees are. She was there. She sat on my living room floor with me and saw what my legs looked like when they were broken. So she knows what my body's gone through. Look, she knows I can still sing my face off for her. I can still, I can walk a little bit, but I am not doing 16 deep knee bends no more.
You're doing the gym every day. You got it.
I am. Yes, look, you know what? I'll go down. That's a whole nother subject. I'm not going up and down on nothing no more unless, no, my mortgage gets paid for it. No. What happened? Now, the reality is like, look, Don and I'm gonna speak for me. Okay, sorry, Donna. I think I'd rather record with her first. I just want to record something together again because I would love to hear us the way we sound together again.
That would be incredible.
That would be incredible. The tour situation, yeah, 1, 2. I don't know if I can do 4, 5. Look, it almost killed her. Can she go back?
Look, after I finished working with her, I remember sending an email to her and to her management saying, I would love to do a charity concert, something where we all are coming together, because that felt so right to me when we went and did Live Earth, and it was like we're all going, like we got paid per diem or something, but we were all not getting paid, and we were raising money for a cause. So I think that would be wonderful to come together like that.
Do you think she'll tour again since y'all toured, or because that Brazil was a grand finale to me?
Who knows? Who knows?
No, you never
would know better than anybody.
Ask Guy if he want to make more money. Then you'll know if she wants to tour anymore. If she's touring again. Look, I don't know. I think if she wants to push her body like that again, I don't know. Let's see. She might get a book, and you never know. She's recording again, so she might. She loves building stuff. So the reality is like she might make a great record and be like, I gotta go perform this.
With Stewart again. I think Stewart's a genius. I love his music.
Sweetheart. I always enjoy.
And he's a nice guy.
He really is.
So I have to ask you this, and then I'll wrap things up. But I have one more question.
We don't want you to
go.
We're never letting you go.
I know.
You've been rapping for the longest. She's like, okay, my last one.
She's like, damn, I'm trying to get these girls to get out there.
It's like, do I have to get Lucy from school?
I got a whole nother dog. What?
My dog wants to eat. She's like, Mama, will you shut up? Look at her.
I told you when we started this is going to be a problem. My questions, but what do you want? Because obviously the fans have a certain perception of Madonna over the years, and she's evolved, and everybody's evolved. But what do you want, like a long-time Madonna fan, to know about her as a person and working with her as a colleague? Like, what do you want, like, the fans to know? Tracy, you want to start? Tracy, go start. You start.
No, just that everybody thinks how selfish she is and everything, but I mean, in my experience, she's like you said, she pours into you the way you poured into her. I mean, I feel like she's done a lot for me that she didn't have to do. I mean, she is Madonna, and I'm a girl from Virginia. But yeah, I mean, we can all be selfish, but she's been selfless as far as I'm concerned with giving me opportunities. So,
Niki?
Donna, I gotta think about this one.
I really enjoyed how, as you know, the more I toured with her, watching her be really interested in educating the new dancers that came in and teaching them about culture and art. I really appreciate that part of her. She would always say, "What book are you reading now?" And
oh wow,
you know, and it was nice, it was fun too to watch her. Like she'd walk into rehearsal where the dancers were and to look at all the food they were eating, and she'd be like, "Skippy peanut butter," you know. She got very like motherly, and I love that because I was a new mother as well at the time, you know. So I related with her a lot, and she also with me was really understanding that I was a mom and out on tour and would, you know, write me notes saying, "I know how challenging this is to have, you know, to be out on this tour, but you're also trying to take care of your kid." And so it was nice the last couple tours I did with her to have a boss that understood that. And because it was really, really challenging. It was a whole nother story going out, you know, with a family, having a child, not being like in your 20s and your 30s. And I just, you know, I had a great time. I did 6 tours with her, and it was all amazing experience and just perfect. And we all have our dogs.
That's right.
and
Niki,
she
your
We
turn.
have our dogs.
Niki, your turn.
My turn. What's the question again?
The question is, what do you want the fans to know about Madonna? Like, you know, her as a person, as a colleague, like whatever you want the fans to know. Because again, there's always these perceptions. Obviously, she's put herself out there on social media and all that, but like you guys, in a way, like know her best because you knew her on the come up. In a way, like she was a star, but she wasn't fully formed. I don't think.
I like the way you put that. You knew her on the come up.
Yeah.
That's very ghetto. That's very
Oh,
ghetto of
Niki,
you.
I just had an ADD moment. Remember when we did MTV Wannabe?
Hmm.
That's
I do remember. Oh my God, I do remember that.
yeah.
Flashback.
That just hit me.
I would want the fans to know that words have power. And it's been a long time. It's been a long time since I hung out with Madonna. Words have power. She's human. That's what I would want them to know. That she is fragile. She's strong. Everybody don't think she's selfish. Everybody don't think that. But we all can be selfish. And that she's a work in progress like we all are. She's a mom. I think, once again, words have power. We should be careful with the queen that we do. I'm an American. I'm for queens. Because queens have peasants, and I don't think Madonna thinks of anybody as peasants. That's what I do know about her, that Madonna can hang out in the ghetto. Madonna can go, and be in a palace somewhere. That's what I love about Madonna. The Madonna made me feel comfortable in all those circumstances. Words have power. And that's why I think she loves words so much, because she loves books and she loves getting a letter. I remember that she loved that. So just remember that she's human, and once again, we know how this ends for all of us. We do understand how this ends.
Niki says it best. Niki always says it best.
No,
You do, Niki, and that's a compliment. That's not that. I'm telling you that with all selflessness. Like you, that's perfect.
Oh, thank you. What I do know about Madonna is, I'm not. I don't see her as a queen. I do see her as a star, though. I see her as a star, man, because her light is huge. Huge. Mm-hmm. She was made into a celebrity, very curated. All that has been very curated. But she came out a star, So and she's trying to remind us all that we all are. That's what I like. That's what I like about her the most, is that she's trying to just remind us of. She's just like saying, "Remember to remember, y'all. Remember to remember."
But
That's
she
what I like about
never really had celebrity friends until recently.
I don't. What's recent? I don't know. I don't see her. What? Who does she hang out with?
That's true. Scratch that.
Yeah, scratch that. I mean, she had celebrities that came here and through and
parties.
and she's
I
out.
think that's
She's a
what
star.
Yeah.
She's a star. But once again, we need to
But
remember.
I think what I'm trying to say is, like, Madonna would be at the club dancing, and you'd have to do a double take. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, she was one of the girls.
That's amazing.
She was one. Because she is a star. Every time we would go dancing, we would be like, we just want to dance, but everybody was formed a circle around her. It's just like a ball of light around her, you know. And then we like, all of a sudden, everybody dancing around us like, I'm gonna go dance with the mirror then, because everybody's circling around.
When I would DJ those parties, it would be all celebrities, and it just didn't strike me as that's where she was most comfortable. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Well, you know, once again, that's what celebrities do. Celebrities like to be around other celebrities.
Yeah.
That's a whole. Those aren't stars.
Oh, no, that part.
No, that's
a whole nother subject.
That's like the netball. I want to thank you guys for doing this, and you have to promise me you'll come back on when the album drops, because let's promote that also, right, ladies?
Let's make it happen.
Okay,
let's do it. Let's go.
do it. And
Kelly, thank you so much, Kelly.
I thank you so much. And honestly, it's literally the biggest privilege to have the three of you together on my show. I know the fans are going to go bananas, and it's just an honor. And I was so happy to hear your stories and that you guys are working together. So keep doing it. Please don't stop. And I want to see you come to Montreal. Cool?
Let's do it.
You gotta let us know where, and we'll be there.
As soon as I stop recording, I'm telling you. So I just tell the fans, make sure you follow all three of them at DJ Tracy Young and at Niki and Donna on Instagram and all the other social media handles. And don't forget their new song, Last Night a DJ Saved My Life, is out now.
Last night a DJ saved my life.
What? Last night a DJ saved my life. That's it. Come on.
Amazing.
A DJ can save your life. Tracy Young.
There we go. Ladies, thank you. Thank you so much for doing this. You literally, it's like the biggest, you've made my year, honestly. Hey, it's Kelly Alexander, and thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Kelly Alexander Show, so you are the first in line for all the cool content coming your way.